Who's that? Didn't see you there. I'm Kyle Irwin. You might recognize me from, whoa, it is Snapping Turtle, yeah! But not today, because it's January, because it's a little cold out here. I'm probably testing that out fully, but, you get the idea. It's cold, it's January. But I'm out here today trying to show you the beauty that still is Missouri, even when it's all dead. Down here, we got a little beaver dam, freshly built. Probably can't see it because my camera sucks. But, yeah, this is the beginning, and I'll be showing you more cool things about winterous Missouri. So, stay tuned. So, when I come out hiking in the wintertime like this, I'm usually looking around because, as you see, obviously there's not as much vegetation, so you can kind of see up in the woods a little more and pick out better habitats and little hidden spots within the woods you'll never see. What's cool about these spots, particularly on these limestone bluffs here, it's great hibernaculum for different snakes. Right here, you see a little hole, and that potentially could, I'm not sure how far it goes back, but that could very well be home to a couple of copperheads, maybe a black rat snake or two. But that's what we're looking for today, is just potential den sites, because I've got a trail cam that I've got planned to set up in front of a decent looking den. That way we can get the copperheads or whatever's in there emerging in springtime. So things for pretty cool footage. But today, yeah, we're just looking for potential den sites like this, and probably not so much up there, but just looking around, looking for some good ones, and I don't know, maybe some different spots to go herping when it's actually warm out. But yeah, nothing too exciting, but interesting stuff nonetheless. And we'll come back to you later. Yeah. Isn't she lovely? It's a beautiful swan in this winter swamp. Well, we brought you here mainly just to talk about the turtles in this region, because we already know, the copperheads and black rat snakes will usually try to take refuge in dens, like on the side of inside the bluffs, so that way they can get away from the frost line, and that way they can actually survive the winter. But what do the turtles do, especially the aquatic turtles, the snapping turtles? What the answer is actually they'll bury themselves in the mud along the bottom of this swamp here, and they slowly draw in water into the cloaca. And the cloaca, which of course is the anus, sexual organ, and urinary tract. Well, it sounds kind of weird because it's bringing water up into its butt, but it's got open capillaries which slowly allow it to absorb the oxygen from the water. So in a sense, it's kind of like a crude form of gills, but it's nothing they can actually survive on for a long period of time, because as they're doing this on the bottom of the water here, being completely submerged, they can't really move around or anything. So they're just completely motionless until the water warms back up in the springtime, and that tells the turtle, okay, it's time to come back up, get some sun, be a turtle again. So it's pretty cool stuff. And now we're going to go find some herons. All right, here we are in the Missouri riverbed. Oh, this is all submerged, but it's been a pretty dry season, so probably won't see much water until, a few weeks from now to spring. But what's interesting about this little island here, it's not an island right now, but I call it Heron Island because you can see up here in the treetops, maybe you can see, there's anywhere from like 40 to 50 nests, and these are all great blue heron rookeries, and they choose these sycamores because of their wide spreading branches, because they're very big birds, if you're familiar with great blue herons, and it just makes a great habitat for them. And we're not going to see any right now because it's so cold, but I'll probably come back out here in the springtime and maybe get some footage of them if I can. But it's just an interesting sight. Normally you can never even walk out here. We made the swim a few times and there's water. Oh. Okay. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend swimming in the Missouri River. Just saying. And what's interesting too is this little shelter up here that somebody's built. I first thought it was a log cabin, like a miniature sized one, but I'm starting to figure out it's actually a bird blind for photographers. Get up here real quick. I might have put that down. Yeah, real quick with one hand. Turn it up. So here's the little shelter I was talking about.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I'm relatively sure somebody just comes along through here, puts over a little mesh, have some fun, taking photography, taking pictures of some beautiful birds. But they're not here right now, so that's kind of boring, so just jump camera. Alright, this is why the floodplain is so awesome, because you find all kinds of cool remnants of animals because of the constant, rising and dropping of the water. This appears to be an old melanistic red slider, but I was almost thinking it was a false map because there's no spots. But, this is a dragon skull, you see. No, it's actually this hip bone to a turtle. And it's just really cool things you can find, because look at Tony's gar here he actually found, which I'm quite jealous of, in the middle of this forest, just lying up here. So it's kind of confusing at first, but they dry up. He's completely hollow, but it's just an awesome find because he's almost completely intact on the outside. But what's even cooler, and I swear we didn't do this, but over here, like we were looking for up here in these treetops, in the treetops here, you can see in the sycamores, the great blue heron nests. And what's crazy, I swear we didn't knock it out, but down here on the forest floor is actually one that fell. You can see this great size of these birds, because they have to have, they usually have two birds sitting in one nest with a full load of eggs. It's just cool to see. You don't really see birds that this size. But it's just cool because you find all kinds of cool remnants of different critters, whether it be like a possum skull or a dried out gar, it's just cool stuff.